What's going on, guys? Welcome to Arsenal Fan TV, and here's a huge game this coming Monday. Arsenal versus Chelsea in the Premier League are going to be an absolutely massive game for both teams. Whoever wins this one goes top of the Barclays Premier League table, so there is so much at stake in this game. We have, of course, already played Chelsea at home in the Capital One Cup, and that one didn't really go too well. It was the first time we got a taster of Chelsea this season, and they did beat us 2-0. Circumstances were a bit different in that game, though. Neither team really going with a full strength side, but we did see quite how big that Chelsea squad is, where they were still able to play the likes of Willian, Mata, and they've got an absolutely massive team. But I think their team doesn't really reflect quite how, they've been playing on the pitch. I think they've been fairly average this season. They're still up there, they are still competing for the Premier League, there's no doubt about that. But they're not playing the best football, and I think they've got lucky in some of their games. I mean, I think that's fair to say. Against Crystal Palace last weekend, they managed to scrape past them. And they've been there's nothing that's really stood out about Chelsea this season. I mean, they've got the quality to go on and win this Premier League. They've got an absolutely massive squad full of absolutely quality players and quite a few world-class players in there as well. But Mourinho is doing something to Chelsea that's making them play in a different style. And I think, dropping the likes of Mata has been quite silly moves. And I don't think at times it's really working out for them. Of course, Eden Hazard, Oscar, Schürrle, these are all really dangerous players and they can punish you at times. Obviously, they've got a fairly leaky defence as well. I was going to say their defence was solid, but it occurs to me now that they're leaking goals here, there and everywhere. I don't think Terry is the player that he was. Cahill, I think he's actually been probably their most solid centre-back. He's also got a goal or two in him when going up for set pieces, so he's going to be really one to watch. Ashley Cole, I have no idea if he's going to play this one. Of course, turning up at the Arsenal Christmas party, I don't know what was going on there. But relating back to the game itself, I don't think Cole is going to play this one. Simply because he seems to have had a falling out of Mourinho. We'll probably see Azpilicueta, if I've said that right, utilised on the left-hand side, and then probably someone like Ivanovic on the right. But going forward, there's something about Chelsea that just isn't working. Whoever plays up top for them, I'm not going to be worried about. Torres has no fear factor. Same goes for Etu, same goes for Demba Ba. I'm not particularly worried about any of those three players. They don't seem to be getting goals, and that's Chelsea's problem at the moment. Of course, they did have that loss to Sunderland midweek where they didn't even play that well. Sunderland seemed to be dominating the game at times, so there's no reason why they should be going into this game full of confidence. But of course, the same goes for us, conceding 6 goals against City last weekend. But I think we've got the advantage in this one that we've had over a week to prepare for this game. It's going to be a massive game for us. I think we've got to win this one. I think we've got to go into Christmas on top. I mean, how many times have we done that in the past couple of years? It'd be great if we could get be top on Christmas Day. That's all I want for Christmas. Arsenal to be top. And I think it's going to be a massive game for one individual, and that is Thomas Vermaelen. Obviously, he's going to be leading us out of the tunnel because he's filling in for the absentee of Laurent Koscielny. I think he can play well. There's no reason why he can't. I think the Mertesacker-Vermaelen partnership, I haven't really got a problem with that. It's when Vermaelen and Koscielny play together that things don't really seem to tick. But Vermaelen and Mertesacker, they always seem to play pretty decently together. And he's really got to step up to the plate in this one and put in a good performance. And seeing as it's World Cup year, I really think he's going to want to get back into that starting 11. And he can do that. We all know he's a quality player. And when he first joined the club, he was absolutely amazing. So there's no reason why he can't regain that form. And I'm really going to be keeping my eye on him. The same goes for the likes of Olivier Giroud. I don't think he really turned up against Manchester City. And I think at home, he's got a goal or two in him. Certainly, he can score. And he's got to turn up in the big games. Defensively wise, I'm not too concerned. I think, we did concede 6 goals at City, but I mean, we can turn things around in that time. We are going to miss Koscielny, that's a fact, but Vermaelen, like I've already said, can put in a good performance. Be great to have Gibbs back in the squad. I think we massively missed him against City. He's obviously a massive influence. But looking in the midfield wise, I would drop Flamini for this one. I don't think he played at all well against City, and I think we've got to replace him with Arteta, who's been playing pretty decently. Apart from his discipline, he's got quite a few red cards under his belt, and that's something he's got to get rid of. But I think he's been playing really well defensively and attackingly. Ozil as well is another player that's really got to step up to the plate in this one. I think he's got to put in a good performance, got to win a lot of Arsenal fans back, because I know, me included, have been on his back, and I think rightly so, in fact. I don't think he's been performing to the standard that we all expected when we signed this £42.5 million man. And I know there's more to come from him, and there's no doubt he's a world-class player. But I think this is the kind of game where he's really got to prove himself and start getting involved more. Jack Wilshere, we know he's banned for this one, for his gesture at the City game. And honestly, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think he was one of the worst players on the pitch at the Etihad last week. And having Walcott ahead of him, that's something that I have got no problems with whatsoever. Walcott was in fine form in that game. And it's great to have him back, really. But looking at the team in whole, this is the team that I'm going to go with. Szczesny in goal, Sanya, Mertesacker, Vermaelen, Gibbs, Arteta, Ramsey, Walcott, Ozil, Cazorla and Giroud. Now, we've got Podolski back for this one. That's going to be absolutely massive for us. Massive boost. If he was fully fit and if I had already seen him play a couple of games, then I would probably start him for this one because I think we need that bit of width on the left-hand side. We've got it on the right with Theo, and we just need it on the left-hand side because Cazorla, I've already said, he can't defend. And he obviously plays his best football behind the striker, but I don't want to bench him at the same time because he just brings so much to the team. He's the kind of guy that can create something out of nothing. You know, maybe if he's not playing all that well, if we're a goal behind, maybe bring Podolski on in the 60th minute. It's just something to try. But either way, it's a massive boost to have him back in the team. Score-wise, it's going to be so tough. And realistically, I don't know, it might be a draw. But I'm going to be optimistic and I'm going to say 2-1 to Arsenal. We certainly can get a goal against this Chelsea side. They're leaking goals everywhere. And they're not playing to a great standard. So there's no reason why we can't get a couple of goals against them. Let me know your score predictions in the comments box below. If you have enjoyed the video, it would be great if you click the like button. Subscribe for more videos. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.